episode 25. Welcome back here at the Unfunniest Podcast, UFP Media, as I think we're now going to be called, Michael. I think we're officially going to be announcing that.
We're a quarter of a century old.
I know. Can you believe that? It's 25. Let's take milestone birthdays. You've got when you're born 1 year old, okay, that's big. And then you go every 5,
I don't
right?
remember that.
Well, no, we don't. But then
What?
you go every 5. 5 is a big one, right? 10 is a big one.
Yeah, double digits.
Yeah.
13 because you're a teenager.
13, and then 16 you can drive.
Yeah.
Outside of anybody here on the northern border, the 19th birthday really doesn't make any difference.
Well, you missed 18.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, you could buy a lottery ticket.
18 because you can vote.
Yeah.
You can buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
19 for sure. Yes, like you just said, that's more along the lines of some of our compadres and friends in this immediate area, Southeast Michigan, Northwest Ohio, because of the close proximity to our friends in Windsor, Canada.
Sean Beamer, welcome to you.
Yeah, Sean Beamer.
Yeah. So on any of if I want to say quick to any of our Canadian folks listening, real quick off topic, hey, you hosers, follow us, and take off and make sure you comment and like us, Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. Spoke the language.
It's funny because some people think that talking with the A on the end of it is always at the end of a question, but no, the lingual in Canada is at the end of a statement. Like, hey man, you look pretty good today, eh?
Yeah, it's an emphatic
it's at the
period.
end of a statement. Yeah, correct.
So 19 is
Speaking
big.
of which, oh yeah, go ahead.
So
Sorry.
19. Yeah, 19. 20. 20 is 21.
Now, 21, obviously. Yeah. That was our infamous trip to Put-in-Bay for the first time, where we could all partake in a few of adult beverages.
Oh, Lon's Winery.
Excuse me, legally. Huh? Holy mackerel. We stayed at Hazards, which of course was brand spanking new at that time. That they had just built Hazards. All those little huts, all those little I guess they're I don't even know. They're like little cabins. Yeah. Thank you. Jeez, I couldn't think of them. They're all little cabins. And that's, of course, where the Lumpy's Got Skills came about.
Not only that, Mike, I don't know if you were there that night, but when we got off the ferry, because I was one of the group that got there, this is a long time, but this is podcasting for about a dozen. We all got there, went to the bar, we all had our stuff, and then it's like 2 a.m. We're trying to find the cabins, and
we couldn't find them.
Quick little aside, anybody that's talking about it, when you go over to the ferry from Middle Bass Island to where we were going, all you have to do is make a quick left, and it's a short walk, and you're right there. No, we made a right along the beach. An hour later, after coming all the way around the island, finally got back to where we were.
At that time, we would have had to go, because you would have had to have gone through the old marina and then up. Right, even right now, it's not a short walk by any stretch of the imagination.
Compared to what we did.
You turn left, you go around Lon's Winery, you keep going, JF Walleyes is on the left, the marina's on the right, and then it's probably, you're right. It's not that too terribly long of a walk.
20-minute walk, yeah.
Yeah.
No, hour for us, hammered drunk. Yeah, of course.
I think we had some stage 5 clingers, if I remember right.
No, that was the next night. We'll talk about that a different night when we get all the Mooney Boys back on there. So, okay, so back to it. 21, big time there. And then 25?
No, 25 means nothing.
Well, you can rent a car at 25. What is that the age to rent a car? I think
25 or 26, right? I think
30's big, 40's big. Now we could just hit
30.
50.
Yeah. I don't know why we got off on a topic about birthdays, but I do remember for some reason 30 was not fun at all for me. I remember exactly where I was. I was driving on I-94 in Detroit, headed down to Ohio. Yeah, I was. That was in my infancy of this current position I'm in. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, 30? Really? Oh, gee, Mom. I remember thinking to myself, I need my mom to hug me or something. Yeah, 30 for some reason was very strange and I guess depressing is the best way to describe it. Yeah. I don't know why. Because 40, fast forward to 40, I was fine. I really was. 50 I was fine too. Rebecca and Jim and you guys and everybody, of course, did the whole surprise for me, which was, I'll go back to that again. That was spectacular. That was absolutely spectacular.
Yeah. So, 50 wasn't as
Ask me about 60 because that's a long way away and I don't want to think about it.
60, 70, I mean, it's right now, it's just a matter of numbers and they just pass by faster. So that's So we're off on our tangents of what numbers mean, what everything kind of comes there. But 25,
Yeah.
episode
Yeah.
25. Thank you guys. Like, share, listen. We appreciate it. Tell all your friends. We're just as a quick announcement. I mean, we're doing some good numbers. We had over 15,000 views, and with all the comments and likes on TikTok and all the different platforms, YouTube. We really appreciate all of your support.
Positive and negative.
Yeah. You know what? It's been all positive this past week. So no one
Yeah.
talked about us living in a basement. So, and this is an office. This is my office basement. That's what that is. So,
Wow. Yeah. I mean, listen, it is pretty cool to see. You and I were going over stuff before we came on here. Just how little old UFP, Millers in the Wards, talking about things, bringing topics up, and then all of a sudden it spurs on all these sidebar conversations in the social media. I mean, I've made no secret that I'm not the biggest fan of social media, but at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, well, what we're doing is social media, so I guess I have to like it. But at the same time, you look at it and you go, wow, look at that. Comments, people paying attention. So please, by all means, pay attention.
Yeah.
Interact with us. If you want to rip us to shreds, go ahead. Just like I said last week, the constructive criticism is very welcome.
Tell us who our doppelgangers are, just like the guy told Jimmy who his doppelganger was. But
oh, Lord have mercy.
Mike, I want to share something with you first. I don't think I've mentioned this. I mentioned this guy on our last podcast, but there's been new official member added to the Miller household.
No. Who is it? The suspense is killing me.
And for those that are looking, this is now Keroppi Miller. Keroppi. Charlotte named him after one of the Hello Kitties. So
what the hell is a Hello Kitty?
Good question. But so a little background. It's a little cat.
What in the name of sweet Jesus? A cat.
Yeah, we got a cat now in the Miller household. Yeah,
you're as bad as Danny. Danny's got a cat.
So I want to go back real quick. We talked, I think I've mentioned it here, where my house is, and I wish I could show you, it's dark today, but my backyard, I don't have backyard neighbors, and we kind of butt up to a spillway. It's kind of like a nature preserve kind of behind us.
He lives in a van down by the river.
Right,
Don't let him fool you, people.
Exactly. My van down by the river's there. But we've been now here for what, 5, 6, 7, 8 years we'll be here. Actually, as of this week, I think 8 years, yeah. 2018, we came in here. So, or no, 7 years, sorry. So one of the things that's really cool, being that this is kind of an open area, there's the spillway, that's nature area, and it's all protected.
Yes.
People are idiots, and people love to dump animals in this area. There is some type of underground comments with all of these animals that are like, by the way, if you ever have any issues, go to the Miller household. They'll take care of you. So since we moved here, we have had a rooster named Harold that came into our backyard. I'll show pictures of this up on social media. Harold, we got one of Kathy's patients. Kathy is a hygienist. They own a farm up in the Columbus area, just north of Richmond. They took Harold, and he lived there for about 4 years, protected the hens. Harold was such a mean SOB. He took down a hawk, and he took down a owl that were trying to get at and to kill all the birds until he started getting nasty, and then he became a Sunday dinner. We had a pigeon with a hole in its chest. We brought it to a vet. They fixed the hole up, sent it out, and he was back fine. We had
now you sound like Rebecca Ward.
We had a pit bull puppy came into our backyard. One of the most loving dogs you'll ever meet. Beautiful dog. One of our neighbors they adopted it and still has the dog today. We've had
pit bull.
Yeah. Beautiful, awesome dog.
Wow.
We've had muskrats in our backyard. We have had beavers in our backyard. We have had deer in our backyard. We have had
beaver,
everything in our backyard. And so now this kitten came to our backyard. We thought was a kitten, came to our backyard, and we said, great. All right, let's just try to get it together. We'll try to get it healthy. We'll find out its owner because it seems really good and get it kicked out of the house. Nobody said anything. No one's taking claim of this animal. So we brought it to the vet. We're like, let's get some shots with it just to make sure it's okay. We thought it was a 1 or 2 year old female cat. Boy, were we wrong. It's over 10 years old. It's a male cat, already fixed and already declawed. So there goes our hope of sending it out, because I'm not sending a cat out that's declawed because it can't control it.
So this cat's name is Karaoke?
Keroppi.
Is that correct?
Keroppi.
What? Cherobi?
He is a grumpy old man, but he is a nice cat. So we now have a cat in our house, Mike.
I would just like to state for the record, from my point of view, there is no such thing as a nice cat. Most cats are descendants of Lucifer. They carry on Satan's commands. They're very mean. They scratch, they claw, Although you did say that this Karubi
Caribbean
Caribbean, yeah,
karaoke.
whatever
Yep.
his name is, yeah, karaoke. He's been declawed.
Bendy Claude.
Yeah, so that doesn't make him any less evil.
No, but
Because again,
he's nice.
most of the time when I see cats on the road, I swerve to hit them. I mean, I swerve to miss them.
That's
I'm
right,
so
that's right.
sorry.
It's not Barney.
I'm not.
Barney,
I'm totally kidding.
Barney, we went
Do
after.
not. Just make sure, just in case, God forbid,
Edit that
outside
part
of the
out.
4 people that are listening, that there's somebody from PETA listening. Absolutely not. I never in a million years, I'm being dead serious,
No.
would never swerve to hit
We-
an animal.
we
by
love-
any stretch.
we love
Most of
animals,
the time, I'm
honestly.
swerving to not hit the animals, which usually causes me to go off the road, and I have absolutely done that before, so I didn't run over a squirrel. God bless the squirrel. I didn't kill him, though. That's good.
And Mike, you and I did.
Cats.
Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Well,
Back in your
listen, I mean, all kidding aside, there are certainly good cats.
Yeah.
Danny has a cat now. He raves about the cat. My biggest issue with cats is I'm allergic to them.
So am I.
Yeah, of course, there's nice cats. But, I mean, if I come to your house now, I'm literally going to have to wear orange gloves on my hands because I have a propensity to touch my eyes.
Mhm.
And if I touch my eyes after I've touched something in your home, I'm going to break out, and I'm not going to be able to stop itching my eyes.
Yeah.
So this is my issue with cats. So I apologize to all you cat lovers out there. Obviously, we've always had dogs here, and if it was up to Rebecca, we would have had an entire house of cats as well. She does love cats. I'm not the biggest fan of cats, but nonetheless,
Yeah.
We have gone off on insignificant birthdays. We've gone off on cats. We've
It's all
gone off
because
on
Jimmy's
everything.
not here. Jimmy's not here.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Jimmy's not here.
I want to talk about something here. Mike and I have a really kind of cool side jobs of what we do. As you can tell, Mike and I both have face for radio, and both of us have over the years done a lot of public address announcing and done a lot of cool things. So Mike, if you're not aware, in the Detroit Catholic League, Mike is one of the voices for public address announcing for the Catholic League. They just had their Prep Bowl, which is the Catholic League championship games, at Ford Field. And anybody that's looking on here right now, this is Mike's view this past Saturday, doing the public address announcing for one of the Prep Bowl games. Mike, which game was this again?
That was Jackson Lumen Christi versus Centerline. It was a blowout. Jackson Lumen Christi beat the living daylights out of Centerline, which I think was kind of predicted. I don't know that they thought it was going to be 42-7, but it was. It was a running clock in the second half. Yeah, it was good. The next game after that, I only did that one game actually. That is the Prep Bowl is a full day event.
Yeah.
I mean, literally starts at 8 a.m. It's the CYO championships. I think there are. Hold on. Hold on. Dag nabbit.
Mike's bringing up stuff.
Well, no. I threw out all my stuff. I was going to tell you guys exactly what the lineup was yesterday.
So there's Mike's skin there.
Tell them about what you're doing.
So what my thing you can see here, I was over at Oakland University. I am one of the the backup PA announcers for their sports on campus, and I just did my second women's soccer game. They played the IU Indianapolis or IU Indy Jaguars, and they had a 2-2 tie. Just officially, I just want to say I am undefeated when I am announcing Oakland University sports. 1-0-1 now. Of course, it's a great record. Congratulations to I think they now undefeated in about 6 or 7 games. The Oakland University Golden Grizzly ladies soccer team, and appreciate them letting me come out. And as an aside of what we're doing, and hey, if you guys have, if you got any bar mitzvahs, you got events, Mike and I here available, and we can do a comedy routine, we can do whatever you want. But no, we love doing public
There's far
address
more available to me as yes. Unfortunately, I guess with my real job, it does obviously take quite a bit of time, as we indicated last week, why we weren't actually able to do the podcast the week before. I took full responsibility for my ineptitude. Yeah, here, just a quick rundown, and just in case anybody wants to know, because there is actually, it was very well attended yesterday. The Prep Bowl at Ford Field was, I mean, when I say there was a couple thousand people there was definitely that many. I mean, when you're in a stadium that holds 60,000 people, it doesn't necessarily look like it, but it was definitely well attended. Yeah, the gates opened at 7:15. The 9 a.m. game was Everest Academy, Our Lady of Sorrows versus Notre Dame Marist Holy Family. The 10:45 game, Divine Child, Holy Family versus Our Lady of Good Counsel, St. Lawrence. I don't even know where some of these schools are at. Let's see. Yeah, the 1:30 game was Centerline versus Jackson Lumen Christi.
Real quick, why was
the
Centerline
yeah.
playing in the
Listen, that's a really good question. So, without going into a lot of detail, apparently there's been some changes in the last few years
Mhm.
that it's no longer just Catholic League schools. So that game was actually considered a showcase game.
and the King
Central
game
Line,
too,
which
I'm
is
assuming?
obviously yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So the 1:30 game and the 7:30 game, which was Martin Luther King versus Detroit Catholic Central,
Mhm.
that was also a showcase game. The Cardinal Division Championship game, which was, of course, the CHSL, was Father Gabriel Richard versus Cabrini. That was also a blowout. It was 28-0 or 28-7.
Mhm.
I actually ended up leaving. I was pretty tired. Yeah. So, but shout out to the Catholic League, the CHSL,
Yeah.
and all of its directors. Mike McAndrews, of course, was there the entire day. He got there at 8 o'clock, and he probably didn't leave till 10:30 last night. So I'm sure he's probably still sleeping at 7:45 on a Sunday night. So he had to be on the field for quite a bit of the award ceremonies. So the other thing that they do, again, this is just a quick recap. So they have the Scholastic All Catholic presentations for both the classes of 2026, 27, and 28. They had the Educator Awards, which I do believe there was, at least 200 teachers that they honored. Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, again, it's pretty amazing if you take a step back and look at exactly at how much production this actually entails, the preparation that the Catholic League goes through to put all this on. And of course, now they have the Toledo parochial schools that are also involved in this. None of them made it to any of these
Yeah.
games, but they're still part of it. So this is quite a large, and I don't think people realize that the Detroit Catholic High School League is the largest Catholic sports league in the country. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to all the sponsors that help put this on. The Knights of Columbus, excuse me, that is also a sponsor of the Prep Bowl. They're the main sponsor of the CYO divisions, the youth, or the eighth graders, basically
Mhm.
seventh and eighth graders, I guess you would call them. So, but yeah, no, it was cool. It was a great day. It was a long day, but it was a great day.
Absolutely. That's the best part. And the Catholic League is we've been a part of it now 36 years, whatever, since we were freshman year in high school, and to see how everything comes through full circle to the point we are now, it's kind of amazing.
Not that we're being we're much for giving free promotion, but one of the sponsors. This tells you about the Ohio Sports League, the Catholic League in Ohio. So BSN Sports was actually one of the sponsors yesterday too. So yeah, so it was good. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome. So
So if anybody heard a familiar voice yesterday, it might have been me.
one of the other cool things I was involved in, and you just kind of mentioned now, is a part with a group from some of my folks from church, and they got a part of it. There's a group called sportscaster.com. And what it really is what they're trying to do. Jeff Sloan, the owner, he kind of founded it and really happy to be a part of it this year. He's trying to get the microphone in kids' hands, from middle school to high school to college, getting them in front of the camera, getting them used to doing it, getting them reporting. So the past 2 years, what they've done is a high school game of the week. They set 9 week. We spent 9 weeks this year, going to different locations. We saw some of the top teams in the state. We saw some good games. We saw some blowouts, kind of everything back and forth, but got to see a lot of the Metro Detroit area and some good football. And really, the amount of kids that are doing some of these things, some of them are doing play by play. And this is all broadcasted on 760 WJR each Friday night. Really kind of amazing. And if you ever get a chance, I'll put it up here too, sportscaster.com. Really, and this is not just for kids, it's for anybody that really wants to try to do something with sports, try to get involved with it.
Mhm.
They've got a great app, and it's kind of cool there. And I put this out in our social media, but I'm a little biased. I think that there was one of the most incredible kids announcers who kind of was working through a lot of that. Give me a second while I bring this up, because I think she did an
And
amazing job on her first interview. Mike, you can give
an
some
up and coming
tips here.
sports broadcaster in the making for sure.
Absolutely. So let's bring this out here and play this.
Share your screen, Miller.
And here we go.
Holy macaroni. There we go. Sound?
Is it not coming through? Okay.
No, sir.
All right, so let me try this.
Absolutely love it. I love hearing the band. I love.
So why do you like
All right, can you hear it now?
Yeah.
I have always loved football. Especially
Anybody
when
that's
I
not
was
aware,
little. And so
the
for me
little
to be
young
at
lady on
high
the
school
right
football
is my
games
daughter,
every single
Charlotte,
week, being able to see
and
new
extremely
scenery,
proud of how well
I
she acted here.
absolutely love it. Seeing so many amazing players, seeing
The
the
Mike, the
band,
amazing
coaches,
part is I
with
did not
any
coach her on this, but
opportunity
she
to
wrote
see
the
a good
questions
game.
down
I
herself.
absolutely love it. I love
She
hearing the
wrote what she
band.
wanted after some
I
notes from me.
love
These are all
light
written
shows,
in
and
her
I just
handwriting,
think that
and
football is so
she knew
important
enough
to
after
me.
she asked her
Covering at the
questions
high
to
school
turn and
level
look
has
and give
been
attention to the
honestly
person
a
she's
way to
interviewing. By
kind
the way,
of
that's one
resurface
of our
some of the
MVPs
football
from
jobs that I've
Sportscaster. Her
always
name's
wanted to,
Taryn.
but I think that
Incredible what
covering
she
high school
does,
games is
and she's
always
heading
been
off to
so
college next
special.
year. And
what do you want to do
gonna be
after
missed with
you
what we
leave
do because she's
school?
one of the great halftime
So I have
and pre and post
opportunity to go to
game
college, but then after
reporters
I
we
leave
got.
college, I want
You're
to
talking over
be
me.
a NFL sideline reporter. So the next Aaron Andrews, the next Tracy Wolfson, next T. Adams. That's where I want to be. Like I just said, I love football, and it's always been my calling. And I just think that me being on the sidelines for some of the biggest games.
You can hear the band in the background.
Yeah, this is at Roseville.
So much.
And what is your favorite sport?
I love football, but if I had to pick a second one, I would pick baseball. I'm a big Blue Jays fan, and obviously a Tigers fan. But I think that baseball is also a great sport, and if I don't, for some reason, make it in the football world, I'd love to make it in the baseball world.
Why do you like sports?
I think that sports is more so about not about winning, but
Even she turns her
about
little notebook.
community and how it can bring people together. So for me, being like a Lions fan, I go to all of these games and I don't know anyone around me, but being able to high five someone after they score and cheering with people, I think that's what makes it just so special. And I've just always grown up loving that, and that's just what makes it really special for me.
Why do you like doing your job here?
I like doing my job because I can talk to so many people. And what I think is so special about this is if I talk to a player and they share their truth about the sport, not only can they inspire the next generation of players wanting to play football, but I also hopefully can inspire the next generation of anyone who wants to be a sports reporter. And I think that's what's so special about doing this job specifically here on Friday nights. Of course.
I'm a little biased, but I think she's the cutest little reporter that's ever been.
I would agree with that. She did absolutely spectacular.
She did,
That
and
was
so
awesome.
she has caught a little bug with this, Mike. And I think I told you, we were at part of the good thing about being part of Oakland, and we were at their ribbon cutting for their new practice facility for the men and women's basketball team. We got to meet some of the players and some of the coaches at the reception afterwards. And we're going out to one of the practices, and Charlotte's going to spend the practice, and she's going to interview some of the players and interview some of the coaches, and we're going to do it again. And she really is looking forward to that. So I think that's incredible that Oakland is inviting her out to practice to be able to do that. And it's kind of cool to see her really liking this and taking off.
Heck yeah.
So
I like what you guys are doing clearly, obviously, Charlotte, but also any young person that wants to get into the world of broadcasting, especially sports broadcasting. I mean, listen, at the end of the hindsight's always 2020. I mean, I really did kind of have aspirations to do that when I was young. There was clearly none of this that was going on.
Right.
I mean, the biggest thing that I ever did was a play-by-play announcing for the Pistons game. God, that was back in like 1995 or 96, I think. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty awesome. I did it from the booth at the Palace.
Oh, sweet.
Then life happens. School, work, married, kids. And then, that kind of stuff gets pushed to the side. You have a career, you're making decent money. And then you think to yourself, you know what I would encourage people to do? Here's a little PSA, right? If you have a dream, and let's just say it's sports broadcasting or sports reporting. If you have a dream, go for it. Absolutely go for it. Do not hold back. Do not have hesitation. Is it a risk? Yes. Is it worth the risk? Again, looking back, hindsight, absolutely is worth the risk. Yeah. You may not make good money in the beginning, but at the end of the day, You're doing something very rewarding. You're doing something that you love. But look at Charlotte. Look at this. The thing that I noticed the most on Charlotte, she was smiling the entire time. Okay, so now take that in 10 years and compound that to something again that she's doing that she loves, right? And this is why I guess I'm doing this little shindig of a PSA here. But if I could do it over again, I would have taken the risk. Yeah, I would not have made even remotely close to the kind of money that I was making. Not that I was making a lot of money back then by any stretch of the imagination, but you have with the family, with the kids and everything else, you got to support it. So I guess it was a little bit different for me. I didn't take the risk because of that. But I would tell any young person, take the risk. It's a calculated risk. It's a risk that you need to, make the move. If that's what you love, then do it. Maybe you don't make six figures clearly right off the bat, but who's to say that you can't advance yourself even further down the road to do that? And yeah, everybody's got the benefit of hindsight.
Yeah.
Monday morning quarterbacking, hindsight's 2020, whatever it might be. But yeah, don't hold back. You got a dream, shoot for the stars, kids. By all means, please.
It's amazing.
This message brought to you by Ward. No.
Brought to you by UFP Media. If you're looking for your next thing, I agree. I've been lucky. I've been able to got to live, and I made a joke when I graduated college. I wanted to live in all 4 time zones in the U.S. And I didn't realize it was going to take 7 years to do, but I did it. And yeah, and it's been incredible. Some of the stuff I was able to experience, some of the places I've been able to be, some of the things I've done. I've done radio broadcasting. I did a little TV broadcasting and on a little cable access for Texas. I've done a lot of other different things there too. So yeah, it's even to the point of where I was able to do a lot of those things. It's still it's all calculated with everything you got to do.
Yeah, I mean, everything I've just said, thoroughly believe, but I also don't have regrets either.
No.
I mean, that's the other thing that you don't want to do. You don't want to have regrets.
No.
Do I wish I would have done a little bit more in terms of that? Yes. Do I regret supporting my family? Heck no, of course not. And I certainly feel very lucky and very blessed to be working for the same company the last 20 years that has supported me and my family in a tremendous way. And I would never in a million years give that up. Not then, not now. Oh, doesn't mean you can't have something that you aspire to as a hobby, which I do believe that's exactly what this is. I mean, we're not being paid. I mean, so this is almost 99% volunteer work.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things that you've got a passion for something. Sometimes it's worth, at the end of the day, what we do now, we enjoy volunteering and doing all this other stuff, but it's for the kids too.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think just based off of the feedback that we get from things we do, interacting with the schools and stuff like that. I mean, it's really neat to see smiles on kids' faces when you do something like this. And that to me is the most rewarding part.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
it doesn't interfere with their real jobs. It's always at night. It's always on the weekends. So yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like I said, playing and coaching 16 years from even football, and my last year I coached was last year before, helping out with one of our friends' sons' leagues. And so I didn't have a kid in playing. I was just there helping out. But here's the other weird part is I had more than a couple parents ask me, well, why are you volunteering if you don't have a kid? Why are you doing this?
I'm
like,
talking about that.
Because I enjoy it, because I've spent it. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to football. I know these different things, and I can help these kids out. And I love instilling that into the kids. I love being around that. And unfortunately, we have a lot of sick weirdos in this world nowadays where people have to question why somebody really wants to help and volunteer when it comes to that.
Yeah. I'm not going to go into.
So we're gonna switch. Just speaking of aspirations, think of reaching the top. What you're looking at. Like we weren't on the air last week after the Lions' big 24-9 victory on Monday Night Football over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm assuming, Mike, you did stay up to watch most of the game or almost the entire game.
I did stay up.
It's an accomplishment for us.
Not only did I stay up to watch the end of the game, I think it was over at 10:30, 10:25.
Yeah, that 7 o'clock start was nice.
It was. No sooner did I actually wanted to switch over. I was kind of switching back and forth between the ALCS between the Blue Jays and the Mariners. And I switched over, and George Springer, probably a minute later, hit that 3-run dinger. You want to talk about a crowd eruption? I mean, I text Beamer, and I was like, wow. Now, that place is a dome. Jimmy texted us and said that the Lions game, I believe the loudest Ford Field got was the decibel level was 134 point something, if I'm not mistaken. I do believe that the Sky Dome, because I guess that's what we still call it, right?
Yeah.
In Toronto, hit 146 point something, 149.
It was
I mean,
nuts.
that is incredible. So Beamer's nephew and his mom were at the game, and they said that literally the concrete was shaking. Shaking. That's how loud that place got. They said you could hear it outside downtown and a mile away, basically.
Yeah.
So that was, I mean, you want to talk about an eruption. But yeah, so, let's talk about this really quick. So that propels them into the World Series where they meet the Dodgers on game 1 on Friday night. The Dodgers had 7 days off. 7 days off. If you look at the stats, the last, I believe, 8 or 9 times that the team that had 6 or more days off versus the team that went to a 7th game, those 8 or 9 times, I believe 100% of the time, the team that went to a 7th game and only had 3 or 4 days off won the World Series.
Yeah.
And you look at Friday night's game, and the Blue Jays obliterated the Dodgers. What was it, 11-4, right?
Yeah, they
Now,
exploded.
yeah, the Dodgers came back and won last night 5-1, but it is amazing how, and I think baseball is one of those. Well, it's the only sport. I mean, it's literally played every single day throughout the season, from the end of March, early April, until the end of October. Those guys are playing day in, day out, day in, day out. I mean, there's an off day here and there, but generally speaking, they're every day. So you give them 7 days off, and you want to talk about messing with a rhythm. And that's exactly what happened to the Dodgers on Friday night.
Yeah.
I'm in firm belief that they talk about, rest. Nah, I don't know, man. Baseball, yeah, a couple day rest,
1 or 2
3
extra.
days rest.
Yeah.
Huh?
1 or 2
that's
extra,
about it.
yeah.
After that, no way. Sorry.
Your timing's messed up.
Your timing's way messed up. So the series is evened up. It's headed back to LA tomorrow night, if I'm not mistaken. And then, I do think the Dodgers will probably. My prediction, sorry, Sean. My prediction is the Dodgers in 6. I still think that now that they're back and playing again, as opposed to, like I said, with all this rest, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Tuesday is game 4 in LA. Game 5 is Wednesday in LA. So everybody remember, this goes 2-3-2. 2-3-2.
I want to talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
2-3-2. I know they do it because of travel. I mean, having to go back and forth, but it really gives the team that doesn't have home field advantage a real edge, because you steal one and then you can finish it up at home.
Yeah, you can. I mean, so anybody that doesn't know, the home team is determined in the World Series by who wins the All-Star game.
No, not anymore. It was record.
Oh, that's right. It was record.
Yeah, the Jays had a better record. I'm sorry.
That's right. Yeah. It used to be that way.
Yep.
Yeah, it used to be that way. But yeah, the 2-3-2 format, I mean, listen, if you were playing, I guess you would say in Colorado, it may not have as big of a difference. Not that the Colorado Rockies are even close to going to the World Series, but I'm just using something as a little further east versus the Blue Jays, then that's a different story. But yeah, going back and forth to LA, between Toronto and LA.
Probably 6-hour flight almost. And even if you're flying in private, even if you're flying charter, still you're on a plane overnight. It's not the same rest you're getting in everything else. Now, people are going to say you're babying these guys, whatever. But these guys are professional athletes. They're doing what they're doing, and that much travel takes a serious toll on you.
Yeah, I don't care how young you are. Jet lag is a real thing. So yeah, Friday would be an off. I'm sorry, no, that is okay. Yeah, Wednesday would be game 5. Friday would be game 6.
Friday, Saturday, yeah.
And if necessary, Saturday night in Toronto, 8 o'clock, Fox. Of course, that is if necessary. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean,
yes, sir.
It's a toss-up. I mean, I love the Jays. I love what they're doing. I love the players they've got. But at the same time, you're truly watching a once-in-a-generation player, Shohei Ohtani. There's nobody that is even close. I'm talking all sports. There's nobody. It'd be the equivalent of a goalie being the leading scorer out of the team for a hockey team. And what he does, the way he pitches, the way he hits, incredible. You can't even put in words what he does.
He was a little more human last night. He was 1 for 4. He scored a run. On Friday night, I think he had a pretty rough night on Friday night, if I'm not mistaken. Shohei was 1 for 4, He did have a home run. That's right.
Mhm.
2 RBI. But yeah, I agree with you. We're watching a once in a lifetime young man in Shohei Ohtani
Mhm. Yeah.
that is rocking the Major League Baseball world as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
It's nothing new, but I think obviously the last 2 years, it's been really in the forefront with Shohei. He's unbelievable.
I mean, really, what he and let's get back to talking. As we totally got off the rails talking about baseball, from the discussion we initially had about the Lions and the really impressive win over the Buccaneers on Monday Night Football. I said it, and I think we all talked about it. One of the things you expected, and one of the things we all expected was, let's just say, a makeup game from the officials and from the NFL side after what happened against the Chiefs. And I think that's what really kind of took place. That's what happened.
There was definitely some questionable calls went for the Lions against the Bucks. I mean, listen, I don't know what's going on. We talk about this every week. You hear it in the media, you hear it on sports talk. This football is becoming too much about the referees.
Yeah.
They need to swallow some of these flags. I mean, I'm watching the Cowboys and the Broncos a little while ago. It's the same thing. Like 3 or 4 straight plays flags.
Mhm.
Like, come
I was thinking that
on.
same thing.
I sound like a stupid broken record, but for the love of Pete, let's swallow some of these flags. You can throw a flag on every play, but why? I mean, and some of them are ridiculous.
Mhm.
So anyways, yeah, back to the Lions game. Yeah, there was definitely some questionable calls. That third down play that they called originally, I believe, a fumble, and then they had to do upon second review. What the heck is a second review? Has anybody talked about that? Have you heard any explanation about what a second review is?
I think
I mean,
that
we're talking about this, and it went for the Lions. So
I
so
really think what
that
it
just-
is New York is there in their ears and are saying, because I can't imagine how difficult it is to know every single rule in that rule book, word for word, everything. I mean, it's what they paid for, yes, but I almost feel like there is New York in their ear a little bit saying, hey, by the way, this is the rule, just like with the Lions situation of, hey, maybe they forgot you had to come to a complete stop, whatever the case is. I
yeah.
think that, hey, there's little reminders. It's not for one team or for another. It just gets magnified when you're on a Monday Night Football or a Sunday night, you're a Chiefs or you're a Lions. It's going to get magnified just because there's more eyes on that game.
Sure.
And they want to get it
Well,
right.
and I mean, to the Lions' credit, they came out guns a blazing, and that game probably should have been 21-0 at the half easily. But in typical Baker Mayfield fashion, and this is why we've talked about it here on UFP, that Baker is. I could think he continues to be the leading candidate for MVP. They deferred to the second half. He came out in the second half. They go down, they get a touchdown, and you could feel a little bit of the tension in that stadium because again, the Lions kind of shot themselves in the foot at the end of the second half or at the end of the half.
Yeah.
Bucks get the ball. Baker goes down, gets them to score. I think they went for 2, missed it. And then, and honestly, I think what happened was I think Baker got fed up with the referees. I think they started to get into his head. He started missing open receivers. He started overthrowing people. But that kid's a competitor, man. And he, all the way to the end, I mean, if you think about it, it was 24-9 and they were driving. There was a 4th down and I believe 13. And he just missed I don't know if it was a Jigba in the back of the end zone. But anyways, but let's talk briefly about the job that the Lions depleted secondary. I believe some of these guys they picked up off of the street, I think.
First NFL game, some of them. And some of them only
Yes.
played 2 or 3 NFL games. Whiteside, I think it was his 5th NFL game. Yeah.
Dude, that was pretty doggone impressive. I mean, they played for, again, some of their, look at this. Breaking news. Do you have any of the breaking news?
I do not have that, but
Yeah. So, breaking news out of ESPN. They have fired your BFF and your favorite coach in the whole world, Brian Kelly.
oh, good.
LSU has.
He's one of my boys. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your favorite person ever. So that just came out. Sources: LSU officials discussing Kelly's future a day after deflating they got their rear ends kicked by Texas A&M yesterday, 49-25.
Yeah.
So Brian Kelly was informed of the intention to dismiss him earlier today. The school is expected to inform the team of this development tonight. Talks about the terms of his departure are expected to continue. That is from Adam Schefter,
Hey,
8 minutes ago,
hey,
ESPN.
LSU, by the way, LSU right now, I'm looking for a job. I don't have a job right now. I could come in and I tell you what, I'm only going to take $3 million.
Mark
I'll take $3 million a year. That's it. I just want the private jet. Mike's going to come on board. Jimmy will come on board too. Total. We'll tell you what, we'll do it all for $4 million.
I just want $1 million to be at the quarterback's coach.
Right. So, Mike, would you say the three of us, we can do $4 million a year? Would that be okay? Okay. So, LSU, this is our official word. We will come down to Baton Rouge. We will take over your team. We'll even change our colors to the LSU, to the Mardi Gras colors. But this is our official call out. LSU, give us a call. We'll be on a plane tomorrow morning and come down there. We can take over the rest of the year.
It'll actually be really easy for Jimmy because he's got a lot of his old De La Salle stuff, and you can just ignore the De La Salle logos because it's
some stuff
and yellow.
Right. We'll save money that way.
We'll put duct tape right over
right.
it.
We'll save
Yeah,
money.
you'll be fine.
Yeah. So, don't worry about us.
I mean, I'm expecting my phone to go off any minute.
We're going to put this out.
Sure
LSU, just give us a call.
Number 2, I'm sure that they want to hire us.
Come on, we got some
spot on. Way to go.
Right, exactly. So, all right. So let's get back to the Lions as we got off track with your breaking news. But I agree. Yeah, Baker Mayfield has been playing incredible. He has been what he's done this year. In fact, obviously they blew out the Saints today, but last week, I think the Lions got in his head a little bit. And he's a little hothead at times, which is you kind of need that as an.
Well, having William McNeil back, that clearly had a massive impact on that game.
Yeah.
So if you look at him defensively, he had. Let's look at his stats here, Mr. McNeil. Where the heck are you? He had a lot of pressures up the middle. He had 1 tackle. He had 1 pressure. So what I'm trying to say is, they had to pay attention to McNeil, which freed up Hutch. Hutch had he had 2 sacks. He had a lot of pressures though.
Yeah.
Hutch had two tackles, 1 solo. He did not have a sack. I'm sorry. I thought he had a sack. Yeah. He had a hit, 2 hits. So, I mean, again, when you have somebody like Aleem McNeil coming back where he can put pressure up the middle, which is exactly what he did, they couldn't necessarily triple team Hutch like they wanted to, and it was having an effect on Mayfield. You could see he got a lot of pressure, and he was making those throws, and that's usually what happens. If the quarterback feels that much pressure, he's overthrowing people, and that's what he did. Yeah. So kudos to the Lions and the defensive side of the ball. I mean, I don't think anybody saw that coming with the depleted secondary, and of course with Branch being suspended. But man, impressive win. I'll say that a little bit tongue in cheek because I do think that. I mean, listen, Goff didn't have the best game. I mean, his stats look pretty good: 20 to 29, 241 yards, a touchdown, an interception. He did get sacked 4 times. His QBR was 33.6. So. Overall rating 91.3. Not awful, but I think anybody, and I think he even said he was on with Dapper Dan Miller the next night, and he said, I have to be better. That was clearly not one of my best games. So, Gibbs, though, dude.
But this goes back to what they wanted to do, where this goes back to, remember last year's game against the Packers, where they realized as depleted as they were, the offense was just going to have to take control. This game really was about trying to rush the ball. I mean, you look at it, there were 29 pass attempts and they ran the ball 32 times. So 32 times for 161 yards, and they got against one of the biggest, best defensive fronts in football. Vita Vea is just, he's a mountain out there, and they averaged 5.1 a carry.
So look at Gibbs' line. So rushing, 17 carries, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had that rip for 78. He also had 3 receptions for 82 yards. He was targeted 3 times. His longest was a 30-yard reception. That dude, he is quickly, I don't even know if I want to say becoming, he already is one of the premier all-around players in the NFL right now. His explosiveness, we talked about this the last couple of weeks, his explosiveness from the backfield to the line of scrimmage is mind-boggling. He hit what they say 24.2 mile an hour on that 1 touchdown. So once he gets into the second level of the secondary, he gone.
It's a wide receiver.
See ya. Yeah. You're not going to catch him.
No. And
so
you're splitting those runs with Montgomery, and both of them have right now, both of them, when one scores a touchdown, if Gibbs scores a touchdown, the first person off the bench is Montgomery. And when Montgomery scores a touchdown, the first person off the bench is Gibbs. And I think they're competitive. They both want the ball. They both think that they should be up. But at the same time, you play off of each other. One is going to be that more ground and pound in Montgomery around the goal line, and your other one's going to be your home run back. And honestly, both of them can be home run backs the way that those two can run. And you're doing the job of a good running back, but because you got two of them, it's going to last, and you're not putting that much wear and tear on each one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so I think to kind of wrap this game up, I know it a little bit more. I think the biggest thing is that they needed this bye. They needed to get some of these guys back that are hurt. It's ridiculous to see what's going on in that Lions defensive team with how many injuries that they've got, but came at the right time. I think they're going to repair it to get back what they needed to. And then next week they're playing in Minnesota. I think I've already saw they're a 5.5 point favorite already over Minnesota next week. JJ McCarthy is going to start.
If you look at the bye this year as compared to last year, I think last year they had a week 4 or 5, right? Was the bye. A lot of people thought that was a detriment, and it contributed to the injuries inevitably, especially on the defensive side of the ball toward the end of the season. This year, we're in week 7 after 7 games, so I guess technically in week 8, that they have a bye. So this is a little bit, clearly, this is almost smack dab in the middle of the season. So I think that the bye is, like to your point, is coming exactly at the right time, as opposed to last year, which I do think was way too early.
Yeah.
So how it plays out in the end was something we have to wait and see. But yeah, I think the bye is coming at the right time, and here we go. On to, Minnesota, right? The game's at home, though, isn't it?
It's a home game again. Yeah, home game next week. It's when is it going to be? Saturday at 1:00, I think, is when it's going to be. Yeah, 1:00 on Fox. Vikings
Sunday
coming
at 1:00.
Yep, Vikings coming in. Not actually.
Went in Detroit.
It went from 5.5 to now 9.5 is what that spread is, and over this afternoon.
I don't even. Yeah, I mean, I guess you have to go back to JJ McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the whole talk,
Wentz
if you remember.
nothing.
No, he's terrible. But if you remember when McCarthy got that ankle injury, they announced the injury like at 7:00 a.m. on Monday morning and said, nope, he's out for next week. And everybody's like, well, that's interesting, because you usually don't. Yeah, very odd, right? It appeared on the public side of things that they were using the injury as a reason to bench him and to go to Wentz. Now, because Wentz has been so awful, and if JJ is ready to go, that's like, well, go with the rookie. I mean, the Vikings right now are on the precipice of letting the season slip away at 3-4. I mean, I don't see them coming into Detroit and even keeping pace with the Lions. I mean, this, honestly, like you said, what did you say it went to? 9?
9
is
and
the
a half.
line?
Yeah, it's a lot of points.
Yeah, 9.5. Yeah, that's going to be a tough game for the Vikings. So, hey, the good news is we'll be able to talk about it next Sunday night.
Yeah. We don't have to stay up.
And we're not recapping a game the following week or staying up late and Miller trying to convince me to get on the stupid broadcast at 10:30 at night. I'm like, are you out of your mind? No, I'm not getting on the broadcast at 10:30.
So, Mike, we'll do a quick recap of the games this week, but I want to say I have my player of the week.
Yes, Rigoberto Sanchez.
The Rigoberto Sanchez Memorial Award. And he was a player for a long time, defensive back.
Rigoberto Sanchez.
A defensive back for the Jets, played a long time, was a coach here in Detroit. But Aaron Glenn is my player of the game. Or let's just give it to Breece Hall as well for the running back for the Jets, who threw a touchdown pass at the end of that game to secure a 39-38 victory over the Cincinnati Bengals.
Win of the season for our friend Aaron Glenn,
and
who
I'm blown away. 23 points in the fourth quarter for the Jets. When I don't think they had 23 points in the last 4 games combined. But they went crazy. They got their first win for Aaron Glenn.
Dude, I can't believe that Cincinnati let up 23 points in the fourth quarter. Whatever. I mean, she's OP. Yeah, Justin Fields, 21-32, 244 yards, 1 touchdown, no sacks. QBR 66.9, overall rating of 99. Yeah, I mean, I saw that score in the third quarter, and I was just like, all right.
They're right there, read them off.
Yeah, 0-8. I
Yeah.
mean, again, I guess I was going to call for the so yeah, it was 24-13 at the half. It was 31-3 at the end of the third quarter. 31-16
Yep.
at the end of the third quarter. And to your point,
15.
the
Yeah.
Jets scored 23 points in the fourth quarter in an NFL game. 3 touchdowns. I mean, yeah, that's the Cincinnati folks are not going to be happy about that one at all.
Now we'll talk about my other embattled coach, Mike McDaniels. How in the world did
They blew out.
Miami come out 34-10? And Kirk Cousins was playing because Penix was hurt. Yeah, Penix was hurt, and
in Atlanta,
all Kirk Cousins did was go 21-31, 173, no touchdowns, no picks, and sacked one time. It just nothing. They couldn't move the ball, and I think either Kirk Cousins is over being there. I think Kirk Cousins is just done. But Tua, I mean, even Tua wasn't that big. 205 passing yards and 4
yeah, 20
tutties.
to 26.
Yeah,
4 touchdowns. All right, hold on. Where does this tutty thing come from?
tutty is a touchdown.
Oh my God. No, I'm not calling a touchdown a tutty. I've heard you guys say that the past however long, and I'm like, are we calling touchdowns tutties? No. If you want to call them tutties, go ahead. I refuse to give in to this crap.
And 4 touchdowns.
Acronyms. Yeah, touchdowns. TDs. Yeah, tutty.
Okay.
Tutty. I feel like you're saying a tutty bear.
All right, so we're going to bring up our next. By the way, I just want to give as a sincere shout out to the fans of Cleveland. And I think we've now become one of Cleveland's favorite podcasts with all of our clips. We've had a lot of clips lately, and I want to say there's a lot of interaction with Cleveland fans. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Mike is a legitimate fan of the Cleveland Browns and all of Cleveland sports. And the Browns have always been my number 2 team behind the Lions. Mike's brought me to a couple Browns games and we really enjoy it. But there's only one way to say this, Mike, and I don't have my bleep button here. They got their asses handed to them today. They got their beeps handed to them today.
Browns, anything. What the? Stefanski, you moron. I don't understand what in the you're doing. Dude.
May they had a chance of MVP at Gillette Stadium today for Drake May.
Drake May.
What was his stats?
Listen,
I'm just looking up his stats.
I'll tell you in 2 seconds here. He was 18 to 24, 282, 3 touchdowns and interception.
Sacked 6 times?
Yeah, well, okay. So Myles Garrett had 5 sacks. 5. That's correct. 5 sacks.
5 times.
5 times. Drake May's QBR was 67.4, overall rating 135.8. Pretty doggone good. The defense, as usual, was keeping the Brownies in the game through the first half. It was 9-7 going into the locker room at the half.
Uh-huh.
The Patriots scored 21 points in the third quarter. They got a safety in the fourth quarter. Browns did get a touchdown in the fourth quarter, Dylan Gabriel, to make it 32-13. They missed the 2-point conversion. I mean, Gabriel was not good. 21 of 35, 156. He did have 2 touchdowns. He also had 2 interceptions, only 1 sack. QBR 18.8, overall rating 65.9. I mean, he's a rookie, so it's hard to get on him. It really is. He's been put into a situation that I probably didn't want to be in. I'm sure as a football player and as a competitor, he wants to play. But at the same time, you are in a situation as a no-win situation. I'm sure that they're going to be calling. I'm sure the fans are going to be calling for Shedeur. Shedeur hasn't even taken any first-team reps.
He wasn't even dressed.
However long.
I don't think he was dressed today either.
He wasn't even thinking. Yeah, I don't even think he was dressed. No. So you can call for Shedeur all you want. It ain't happening. Yeah, but hold on. Let's real quick. So, yes, Myles Garrett had 6 tackles, 5 sacks, 5 tackles for losses. He had 5 hits. I mean, the man is an absolute machine. But it begs the question, and I don't think we've actually talked about this, but for those of you that don't know, Myles Garrett asked for a trade after the Super Bowl last year. Said he wanted out. He wanted to play for a competitor. He wanted to play meaningful games. He felt that the direction of the Cleveland Browns was not the direction that he was aligned with. And who could blame him? He is a phenomenal football player that wants to play. He wants to play for Super Bowls, right? He said it wasn't about the money, and then all of a sudden it was about the money. The Browns decided to pay him. He came back, and now you're in the same situation again. I can't imagine the frustration on Myles Garrett's and in his head right now.
Mhm.
I as a competitor, he's got to be going out of his mind. So the Browns are, again, we talked about this last week. We talked about it for a few weeks. The Browns are clearly in a rebuilding mode. They are absolutely set up for success in the future, not necessarily now.
Right.
Whether or not the Haslams decide to stick with Stefanski based off of these all atrocious offensive games that they're having, we'll find out. But the bigger concern is you got somebody like Myles Garrett, he's not giving up. I mean, the man doesn't have 5 sacks in a game by mailing it in,
Yeah.
right? So he's doing everything he can. The problem is the offense. They sputter. Judkins got hurt, went out with a shoulder injury. I have not seen the status on him. Probably won't know that till tomorrow. It's just getting to a point of, just like we said last week, and this is what spurred on a lot of the questions on social media with the UFP. We got a lot of people's reactions to it, a lot of very unsavory words talked about with the Browns. Yeah. So listen, I don't know. I get to a point where I'm speechless. And as a Browns fan for 30 plus years, 40 plus years, I guess you would say now, this is the point in the season where you go, all right, what's next season? But they do. They're set up for the future. The draft picks that are coming up, the draft picks that they've had so far. I mean, they are making the right moves. It's just everybody's frustrated because you expect to be good and you want to be good now.
Yeah. This
Oh
picture
boy.
tells you everything you need to know about this game at the end of the game. Where's Myles Garrett?
Where's Myles Garrett?
And not knock against him. He is just
Well, again, what I mean, at the end of the day, no pun intended, because he's at the end of the bench. What do you expect?
you could have a lot
The
of that
man
money
is
used for
giving-
everywhere.
Well, yeah. I mean, the man is giving his heart and soul to this team. Excuse me. Jeez, I drank too much water too fast. He's given his heart and soul to the team, but jeez, oh Pete. I mean, what as a I keep saying competitor. As a competitor, where do you draw the line, right?
I want to go over
So-
for the drives of the third quarter in that game. First drive, Cleveland gets the ball, 3 plays, 1 yard punt, and then leads to 7 plays, 7 to 7 yard touchdown for Patriots. And Cleveland gets the ball back, 3 plays, 3 yards, and they get picked.
Pick.
And that leads to 3 plays, 6 yards, touchdown for the Patriots. The next one drive,
Yep.
5 plays, 11 yards, pick. And that goes to 5 plays, 81 yard touchdown, 81 yards, and then a touchdown for New England. And that pretty much sealed the deal. That was 30-7.
30-7. Yeah.
It's
They did cut it to 30-13, 53 seconds, 26 yards. The Patriots did fumble. Got a fumble, I should say. Yep, there it is. 2 plays, -1 yard. Took a whopping 45 seconds.
the rest of the game.
Samson up the middle of the Cleveland 2 for 1 yard. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was made it 32-13, and that was the final.
Rest
So
of the
what
games,
stadium-
nothing major. Bucks beat up on the Saints. Eagles beat the Giants. A big news out of there. Cam Scadaboo dislocated ankles. A couple of times we've heard of dislocations and everything else this year. And honestly, that wasn't even on the Giants stadium. That wasn't even at Giants Stadium. So can't blame the turf on that one.
No.
Texans beat the 49ers. That's a little bit of surprise. Bills blew out the Panthers. Biggest surprise to me, Ravens 30, the Bears 16.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I actually thought the Bears were going to go in and beat them.
They should have.
Of the Lamarless. Okay, so what's the controversy? Did you hear about this? That the Ravens are having to apologize to the league, or basically having to explain to the league. So they reported that Lamar was questionable.
He was
and
practicing.
then probable. He was practicing, yeah, right. But he was not, correct?
Same thing. He must have been, and I think what that was trying to do is play games with the Len Johnson, because then you have to prepare. You must have to prepare for, obviously, yeah.
All right, so hold on
Huntley
here.
versus Lamar Jackson. They're complete 2 different types of quarterbacks, and you got to prepare differently for them.
John Harbaugh called the Baltimore Ravens' violation of the NFL's injury report policy regarding Lamar Jackson an honest mistake. The Ravens could be subject to discipline by the league because they originally listed Jackson as a full participant in Friday's practice when he only ran the scout team. Baltimore then changed Jackson's participation to limited Saturday while also ruling him out because of a right hamstring injury. This is Harbaugh talking. It really is an honest mistake. I can tell you this. Nobody's trying to hide anything. There's no advantage to be gained with that. Jackson had been listed as a limited participant for practices Wednesday and Thursday. When he was upgraded to a full participant Friday, it suggested that the two-time NFL MVP was trending toward playing. After Friday's practice, Harbaugh said Jackson had a full practice, but didn't point out that Jackson received no snaps with the first-team offense.
Technically,
So-
he was a full participant. Was he going to play?
Yeah, Sunday Harbaugh made it clear that he was not involved in designating the practice participation levels for players, saying that that decision was made by the athletic trainers and public relations staff. Really?
I'm sure he's got some word. I'm sure he's got some.
So just for clarification, this is the NFL injury report policy, and it states, and I quote, participation on the scout team, no matter how extensive, by a player whose normal repetitions would be with the starter, but for his medical condition, would not alter the player's proper designation as limited participation. Bears coach Ben Johnson wouldn't say how much the Ravens' revision of Jackson's practice participation status affected Sunday's game. Interesting. So, yeah, I mean, here we go. Lots and lots of drama as usual. So anyways, but yeah, that was a surprise because I thought, I mean, listen, the Ravens of the last 2 weeks have been blown out. So I really thought the Bears were going to go in. I mean, not blow them out, but I thought that the Bears would take advantage of all of this.
Yeah.
And that did not happen.
Let's last game we're going to talk about is our Indianapolis Colts. I think we're on that bandwagon. Daniel Jones, 21 to 29, 272. 3 touchdowns, 0 picks, sacked 3 times. And what can you say?
Listen,
that's more than pedestrian.
So I talk about Baker Mayfield as the leading candidate, which I'm still sticking with Baker as the leading candidate for MVP right now. You could make
comeback player of the year.
You could make a serious comeback player of the year and Jiminy Christmas. I mean, right on the heels of Baker, really, for NFL MVP. I know, I'm sure I'm going to get ripped for that comment, but at the same time,
they're 5-1. What are they?
They're
7-1. 7-1. Excuse me.
I'm sorry. Yes,
7-1.
Yeah, you threw me off there.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're blowing teams out. I mean, these games aren't close. So today was 38-14. Last week was 33-8. The week before was obviously close. That was 29-28 against the Broncos. The week prior, 41-20 over the Titans in Tennessee. The Rams did beat them in LA 27-20. They destroyed the Raiders at home 40-6. They beat the Cardinals at home 31-27. Beat up on the Chargers in LA 38-24. So this is quickly become quite the competitive, and I mean, at this point in the AFC, I mean, who do you see challenging them besides Buffalo? Well, and Kansas City.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It will time. I mean, but 7-1 is 7-1. I don't care who you're playing. You're playing the NFL teams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you've got Indy, you've got Buffalo, and you got and Kansas City right now in the AFC because the Chiefs are clearly on the right track. And you knew that was going to happen with Andy Reid at the helm and Patrick Mahomes. So, yeah, by the way, somebody made a comment in one of those when we were talking about Patrick Mahomes and throwing sidearms. So someone, again, we enjoy all of your comments. Please bring them on. But they told me that, have I ever watched a shortstop? Well, let me tell you something. For one, yes, I've watched many a shortstop. Carlos, 1 of by C, 2 of Baerga back in the day. Omar Vizquel.
Alan Trammell.
Sorry, Baerga was a second baseman back for the Indians. But to say that you're comparing a shortstop in baseball to a quarterback, again, I'll like to reiterate very quickly, who has pads on, who has a helmet on, and he's throwing, yes, a football, not a basketball. So yes, a shortstop clearly is very talented and can throw practically underhand, for crying out loud, and across his body. You're talking about a football game. What'd you say to me earlier in our show?
A 330-pound guy trying to rip his head off.
Yeah, barreling down the pipe to nail you. So yeah, don't. Sorry, I appreciate the comment, but you cannot compare a shortstop to a quarterback and his arm angle. So there you go.
Last NFL mention this week is our inaugural UFP Player of the Week is Rigoberto Sanchez. They played 8 games, and Rigoberto's punted 16 times in 8 games.
Huh.
It's pretty darn good.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once again, we're going to throw this out to the Indianapolis Colts. We are in our we're part of we're the Brigoberto Sanchez fan club right now, I think. We're going to talk about his
Name
stats
is just
every single game. And
that name is just phenomenal.
Rigoberto and the Colts. If you guys send us some jerseys, we will wear them on the air. We will wear proudly wear the Sanchez jerseys on the air.
We might take the UFPs off for him.
Let's go from talking about a great weekend of football, everything going there, to one of the worst stories that a major sports for a team or league can go through, and this is his gambling allegations. We keep thinking the Tim Donaghy allegations were going to be the end of it. Then we keep talking about, well, maybe it's going to be the allegations that took place last year are going to be the end of it. And then the Malik Beasley stuff's going to be the end of it. And now you got one of Detroit's heroes in basketball now wrapped up into this thing. And from what I hear, not only the issue of being the plant in, first off, how do you get involved with mafia poker games? You open yourself up to everything, but now hearing that there's other reports involved with this as well, where he may have been giving out some information, and then discussions of a Lakers, I apologize about the names, a Lakers assistant coach basically telling everybody that LeBron is not playing, it's not out yet, bet the house against us type of thing, and point shaving and these prop bets and everything else. And Mike, I agree. Mike sent me a text message saying it's ridiculous what ESPN is doing right now. ESPN is just putting this under the rug, and a lot of cases, yeah, because they're in bed with these guys. And not only that, they're dumbest thing in the world is to see a report about gambling problems and then underneath on ESPN, oh, by the way, ESPN bet, you can get your bet in and get a free $50 bet with your first bet coming out here.
Yeah, but did you see that as a report was going out that the ESPN bet logo icon disappeared?
Yeah.
Did you hear about that that morning, on Thursday morning?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm still flabbergasted by this whole thing. It's very hard for me to relate to, appreciate anything to do with gambling and all these bets, and especially somebody who's made $90 million, meaning Chauncey Billups, $90 million over the course of his career between playing, and this was just an estimate, between playing and being a coach in the NBA.
Yeah.
What in the world are you? Again, it's hard to put yourself in the shoes of these guys. I just don't understand. This is the most interesting thing. So, says on March 23rd, 2023, a player, an NBA player, left a game in New Orleans after playing just 10 minutes. His team said the player, Terry Rozier, was experiencing foot discomfort. Discomforting to federal prosecutors, Mr. Rozier's departure was a key moment in an insider trading scheme. Before the game, they allege Mr. Rozier had informed his childhood friend, Nero Laster, that he'd be exiting the game early so that Mr. Laster and others could bet hundreds of thousands of dollars on his underperformance for the Charlotte Hornets. On Thursday morning, Mr. Rozier was arrested in Orlando, charged with wire fraud and money laundering conspiracy. He was one of dozens of people, of course, as we said, including Chauncey Billups, head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, named in 2 indictments. Now, when you have Kash Patel, who's the director of the NBA, the FBI, and the allegations that are coming down from the FBI, dude, Chauncey's in a lot of trouble, man.
And honestly,
he's in a lot of trouble.
You know, Kash Patel can be a polarizing person. Let's even take any politics out. The FBI is what the FBI is. They're not going to do they're not going to do anything unless they've got it in solid that this is there. The wiretaps, everything else around there. It is just ridiculous to see what these guys open themselves up to, what happens. It really can.
I mean, let's just listen to okay, so we'll just take a couple minutes and go through some of the language that's being used, some of the charges that are being assessed. The charges span the worlds of professional sports, mafia families, and online betting, pairing traditional, it's almost like this is a movie, pairing traditional smoky room card cheating with corruption enabled by today's ubiquitous betting apps and smartphones. Each indictment describes schemes that the authorities said defrauded gamblers. And obviously, this is casting a doubt on the integrity of NBA games. This is where I get frustrated with some of the talking heads on ESPN, and they're downplaying this. Like, this isn't a big deal. Like, you know, whatever. What are they supposed to do? No, So this is Cash Patel. This is the insider trading saga for the NBA.
Yeah.
He was flanked inside the office packed by Jessica Tisch, New York Police Commissioner Joseph Nocella Jr., the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York, and officials from other agencies. I mean, I just, again, it's so hard. I don't understand. Listen, the second indictment with 31 defendants.
Yeah.
31 defendants. Now, most of that is probably the mafia
Correct.
families.
Yeah, it's probably, I think, 7
Um,
NBA, 6 NBA, and the rest mafia, but
Yeah,
still,
right.
still.
So Chauncey has been accused of participating in illegal poker games organized by mafia families that defrauded the victims of at least, are you ready for this? If you haven't heard, $7 million. Now, $7 million to them is probably not a lot of money, but obviously to the rest of us, it's a tremendous amount of money. Damon Jones, okay, that's the former NBA player and assistant coach. Rozier, in his 11th NBA season, is now with the Miami Heat. He did not play in this season opener this last week. Phillips is 49, is his 5th season as the coach in Portland. So, did you see some of the videos of Rozier?
Yeah.
And some of the almost
Bouncing the ball
just
off his
blatant
foot.
Oh, holy cow, dude!
You know,
I heard on somebody was bringing this up this past week that you can solve a lot of these problems. I mean, it's all these prop bets, right? You would know better than I would because I just don't participate in it. But somebody was talking about just get rid of the unders. Just get rid of the unders. It'll solve so many problems.
well, yeah,
Because it's hard. It's the over is clearly much harder to achieve than the under. And when you have these under bets, it's very easy. Maybe not for somebody that's LeBron James is making hundreds of millions of dollars every year, but some of these guys that aren't making a lot of money, it's easy for them to get kind of, I guess, tagged into that, like sucked into it of, okay, look, you can bet the under. This is easy to pull off.
well,
right?
yeah, and that's in the NBA. Think about, I was just, while you were talking too, I'm just trying to think about, let's go the different sports and prop bets. Let's just take NFL, for instance, running back yards. Are they going to get more or less than, let's say, 50 yards? Okay, there's a lot of concerns on that. You have to do that. But baseball, is a guy going to get a home run? Well, they're going to try to get a home run every time, and you say no, and you're purposely trying to strike out. How many pitches? I mean, granted, now where Emmanuel Clase got into problems is the first pitch going to be a ball or a strike? That's what I keep hearing, is that was his problem, where he was one of the most precise strike throwers, but yet every time he came into the 9th inning, it was a ball way out of the strike zone each time. Opened himself up for a lot of things there. So that's one thing you can control. NBA, how many rebounds you get, how many points you score, how many assists. It's a lot. I think it's a lot easier, and you could rig it a lot easier probably in the NBA than you could in a lot of other sports, only because the amount of individual stats and everything else a person can get and has control over.
Yeah, this is, I don't know, man. It's hard to even wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
It's hard to speak on a level of even have an appreciation. I mean, if this is somebody that's really had a hard time in life, if this is somebody that's hard up for money, they've lost their job because of a gambling problem, so on and so forth. These are multi millionaires. And I keep hearing, well, gambling is an addiction. It's a problem. It's a habit. You can't get rid of it, which I can appreciate, right? I think most human beings can. But to do what they've done, to pair with mafia families, I don't know. This is just so hard.
And as bad as NBA and all these major league sports are, where players are making millions of dollars, where I think you're going to find the worst ones still coming up is college. And where kids aren't making any money realistically. Most of these kids aren't making $1 million. Maybe they're making a $1,000 or $2,000 a month or something like that on some of these NIL deals. How easy is it for a kid to do that? That's where you're going to see it, in my opinion.
This is pretty good. All of this is actually coming from the New York Times. So I'm kind of perusing through different bullet points. This is pretty good. I like this. With the rise of prop betting, information about individual players' availability has become particularly valuable. The defendants were accused of knowing when certain players would be sitting out or leaving games early, allowing them to set up the fraudulent bets. Along with the March 2023 game when Mr. Rozier was a starting guard for the Charlotte Hornets, prosecutors pointed to instances when the individuals were said to have traded on such information to secure profits in the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Mhm.
In February of 2023, Mr. Jones was acting as an unofficial assistant coach for the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, this is really the interesting one
Yeah.
here. Before one game on February 9th between the Lakers and the Milwaukee Bucks, the prosecutors said Mr. Jones sent a text message to a co-conspirator writing, quote, "Get a big bet in Milwaukee tonight before the information is out!" Exclamation point. He then referred to an unnamed player who would be sitting out that game, information that had not been publicly released yet and or known. The description of the player, here's what you were talking about, appears to match LeBron James, basketball's biggest star who plays for the Lakers and sat out that game because of a sore ankle. Mr. James, who has not been accused of wrongdoing, was a teammate of Mr. Jones on the Cleveland Cavs. Prosecutors said Mr. Jones used that relationship to gather private medical information.
And okay, here's the difference too.
Boy.
How unsmart, I'll just say that. I'm not gonna call him dumb, whatever, with the text message he sent versus you. Let's just say I'm an NBA player and I just pick up the phone, we're talking, it's like, yeah, LeBron's not playing tonight. He's doing his ankles hurt. And then you turn around and say, oh, wait a minute, this hasn't been announced, LeBron. Okay, I'm gonna put some money on that game. There's a big difference to me between the two, and somebody saying bet the farm because LeBron the player's not playing. It's big difference.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that we want to get into the poker games.
Let's talk about that later at a different ink because that is crazy. The glasses, everything
Crazy
else.
is not the word for
Yeah.
it. Again, I don't play poker. I don't gamble. I don't do any of that. But I was watching a thing. I believe it was on Friday or maybe it was even last night. But they talked about the card cutting and how the cell phone was
The machines that would stack the deck, knowing how many players were going to be playing in that game instantaneously.
and you look at and it says your phone tells you to play the second hand. I'm like, this is where we're at. I'm just, again, I keep saying this. My mind is absolutely blown. It's incredible to me.
Yeah.
But that just goes to speak of the world that's out there right now.
Absolutely. And now let's talk about one of the fun things from the NBA. We got back into the Pistons at the end of last year when the Pistons made that run, got into the playoffs, and honestly had a great series against the Knicks. So we really got us back into it. They just today beat the Celtics, 119-113. They're now 2-1 on the year. They beat they beat Houston the other night.
Houston,
Yeah, which I forgot. Kevin Durant's down in Houston, and Houston's got a pretty good team. So it's given us fun. I mean, I'm glad to see starting to watch some of the games. Glad to see the Pistons are doing well. I hope to get down to some of the games this year. And one of our other local teams, the Red Wings, after winning off 5 straight, then all of a sudden they lose on the island. They lose to the Islanders and they lose to Buffalo. And I'm thinking, oh, great. Now is this going to happen again? They get down 4-0 to St. Louis yesterday. And I didn't even turn the game on when I saw it was 4-0 and turn around and win the game 6-4.
So
yeah.
I'll give Todd McClellan a lot of credit. So they go down 4-0. He calls a timeout, which is pretty rare in the NHL.
Uh-huh.
I mean, as a general rule, most coaches will save the timeouts for the end of the game. But you go down 4-0. He calls a timeout. I didn't see the video, but it sounded like he laid into the team pretty hard.
Uh-huh.
And then they came back and won, empty net goal to make it 6-4 at the end. But this team, again, because like you said, I was pretty frustrated. They were 5-1. Lost 2 games, were uncompetitive in both games to drop to 5-3. They go down 4-0. I'm watching it on my phone last night as I was watching Michigan State. That's a whole other story. Yeah. And I'm just thinking to myself, dude, what the heck? Is this going to be this kind of roller coaster season? And it may very well be, but to their credit and to Todd McClellan's credit, calls a timeout, come back, win the game. So the Cat finally scored. You see that wrist shot from the just beyond the blue line? That was at the top of the circle, I guess, basically. But yeah, so he's on the scoreboard, which is great. They listen. They're a young team. They're a fast team.
They're fun.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, they're fun. And I think he's the right coach to get this team on the right track. And I like what he said today. He talked in the post-game interview last night. He said, it's hard for us to really find out where we're at, but we need to stop this roller coaster ride. And we need to find our true identity. And he said, I do believe that we are closer to that post 4-0 deficit than we are the pre 4-0 deficit where they fell behind by 4 goals. So this is going to be a fun team to watch. I can't tell you how bad I want them to make the playoffs because I'm obviously a big fan of Yzerman. and I want the detractors to be shut up, but time will tell.
Well, I'm just looking at their stats. Larkin leading the team with 13 points, 6 goals, 7 assists. DeBrinket
Mhm.
1-7 for 8 points. But then you got Finney, that rookie, 4-4. He's got
Dude,
8 points in 9 games.
I like that kid,
Mhm.
man. I like all these guys. I mean, again, I haven't watched a lot of it yet, just because it's this early in the season and everything else. But it's definitely. I mean, we'll see. They've got let's see, they're off until Tuesday, right? Yeah, they play at the Blues, so we'll see if the Blues are going to enact a little bit of revenge after being embarrassed. A 3-0 lead is pretty common in the NHL to give up. That's always like it's interesting how you look at all the stats, like a 3-0 lead in a game. It's amazing how teams come back from 3-0, but 4-0, that's a different story.
Well, and
So
the worst lead in hockey is a 2-goal lead too, because
yeah,
you're like, okay, you're skating a little bit, but all of a sudden that kind of it kind of changes everything there.
Yeah.
So Mike, I think we've reached that time of the podcast, and let me get you some information here, Mike. So I think we're ready for it now, Mike. What do you got to say?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
It's
Oh, we're gonna
time
let-
for everyone's
Yeah.
favorite segment, Mike's Rant of the Week. And now, here is Mike with his rant.
Well, I think everyone is well aware of my how much I do not like this propensity of everyone going to AI. I feel like it's what's the word I'm looking for? Lazy. People are getting more and more lazy. Whatever. So my rant this week is going to go along with the very similar lines of this. So I saw a video, and I'm not going to even share it because it's very frustrating to me to watch. I think you guys have all seen these robots that deliver drinks and food to people. Is this where we're going in society? I mean, not only is social media ruining human to human interaction, I guess the sacred grounds of going to a restaurant and actually interacting with a wait staff that comes to you. Now we're going to have robots that deliver food and drinks. And the one that sent me off the edge was the other day, I saw a video of a drone picking up drinks at a bar and delivering the drinks to the person 30 feet away. Seriously? We're to that point. We need drones to deliver drinks. And then I read some of the comments. Well, thank God you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay a tip to a stupid drone. Again, is this where we're going in society? We're going to so we're going away from cash for one. Now social media has taken away human to human interaction. Excuse me. Now we're getting to a point where even you go to a restaurant, you can't even talk to a human being to get your food. God forbid you have to pay that person a tip. I mean, really? Are we that cheap? So not only are we that stupid, we're that cheap. But yes, and Mark, I know you're a fan of the AI segment, but I do not agree whatsoever with drones and robots being part of the wait staff at bars and restaurants. I'm sorry. No one's going to convince me that it's legitimate and it's needed.
You know, it's
there
funny
you
you mentioned that. Last time I was down on Notre Dame's campus down in South Bend, there are these little, almost look like little coolers, these carts, these little robots, these little four-wheel vehicles, and you get your Chick-fil-A, you get whatever else, they throw it in there, and it drives on campus to wherever it needs to go and drop that food off. It's the weirdest thing. To me, I'm staring at it, and all these kids are just like, it's just normal. I don't know how I feel about a lot of that stuff. Now, AI, the ChatGPT, for some of the stuff has become pretty cool. Now, the deep fake stuff is ridiculous. You look at even some of the stuff we've done, putting our logo on things, it's what it is. But my old boss, my boss has really told me, he's like, use AI, and he explained how to use it. He's like, it's different, and I never looked at it differently than using a search engine. I thought it was just a simple search engine, like, hey, what schools are doing this? Versus I could type in and say, what schools are doing this, this, and this, and it deep dives and tells me everything. And I didn't realize half the stuff it'll tell you. And a lot of the schools are also teaching kids and not shying away from the AI. They're teaching kids how do you use AI on a daily basis to really help your schoolwork, and not to cheat, but more to, hey, here's some different things to look at. And when you use it for good versus using it for the bad stuff, I definitely see it, but it's a slippery slope, and it's a scary thought.
Yeah, slippery slope is understating.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting to a point of when you can't decipher what's real and what's not, that's dangerous. I'll just call it for what it is.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. The Terminator movie might have been a little more predictive of the future than we all thought. I'm not trying to be a doomsdayer here, but I mean, come on, man. I mean, I've already read articles about the music industry as being
That's scary.
a lot of artists they're like, it's ruining creativeness It's ruining song making. It's ruining. I mean, really? Like, you can go to AI, you can go write me a song about being depressed in Macomb County that I lost my girlfriend and I don't think I'm going to get her back. And then all of a sudden AI writes you a song. Like, where's the creativeness in that? Why do you need that? And now we're going to get to a point where, are we going to be able to tell who's actually, if it's a robot singing a song or if it's a real human being? Why? Somebody needs to show me, and I don't think anybody can. And even if they try to, I'm going to tell them to go to you know where. Why do we need automated intelligence to do things that humans should be doing? And I am not an old man yelling at clouds about that. It's is there some legitimacy and helpfulness? Yes, but when you're starting to take the human mind out of things, use your term, a slippery slope.
Absolutely.
And that might be understating it.
And we'll go over one day, the one thing that are the best part of AI. Give me a second here. Let me see if I can show this to you.
Like, I don't even pay attention to if I'm flipping through the Facebook stuff and you click on a comment, I don't even look at the stupid thing at the top that tries to give me a summarization of what the comments are. Like, I know how to read. I'll read. I don't need a computer to tell me what the summarization of stuff is. Then people will say, "No, it's so easy to just look up top." No, scroll. Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah. There's two things I want to show you that if you get bored, look up Stephen Hawking's AI videos. Those are the greatest things.
Boy.
It is. Oh my God. It's hilarious. Let's see if this one here, we'll edit this out if it doesn't come through. And here, we don't need audio for these.
Oh,
all right.
boy.
It'll get rid of the silence here in a second.
I know.
One day, if anyone wants to give me a computer too, I'll take that. Okay, here we go.
You can afford. Oh boy. Oh, yikes. Oh, my Lord. Oh, jeez. Well, I mean, okay, that obviously looks. Oh my God. Well, these look fake. So, but some of the stuff. Good Lord. Oh boy. Some of the stuff is hard to decipher. I mean,
yeah. I'm going to stop that now. Some of them are pretty funny. At least the other ones that I think are funny are seeing Tupac. The Tupac and Mr. Roger ones are pretty funny too. But you're right. There's a slope between that and putting somebody in a video in a compromising position they shouldn't be in. And it's a very thin line.
We shouldn't have to question whether something is real or not. I guess that's really the bottom line. We should not have to question if something is real or not. So there is, similar to college football, and we'll probably talk about this next week because we're getting late. And I do want to talk about it next week, actually. But similar to college football, it's off the rails. Like, we gotta pull this back in. When we're getting warnings from people, that some of the creators of AI, that this might be off the rails a little bit. Yeah, maybe I am old man yelling at clouds, but I don't think I am.
And it's just like I think in a lot of cases, it's like any technology. You look at it and say what good things you can do, but then you look at it and say what horrible things can come out of that as well.
To your point earlier, unfortunately, there's some bad people in this world, and in the wrong hands, it can go awry in a hurry. Yeah.
So, all right, what's your week looking like, Mike?
Pretty normal, actually. Just preparing for our trade show that's coming up in a month. I'll be headed to Las Vegas less than 2 weeks now. It's next Saturday. Not this coming Saturday, the following Saturday. We have our Las Vegas trade show. That following week is a Connecticut trade show. Then the week of Thanksgiving, which is hard to believe. It's within sight. And then the week after that is the Toledo show. So the month of November is going to be pretty crazy. But this week is pretty quote-unquote normal.
Yeah, we got Halloween coming up this week. What are you going to dress up as?
Mike Ward.
It's a fun night to look
pretty
forward
scary
to.
enough.
Exactly.
It's very scary if you're dressing up as Mike Ward.
Absolutely.
hold on, real fast. Where's Jimmy?
Oh, that's right. We have to address the elephant in the room. Jimmy is not on the podcast today. He was
a last second scratch.
He was a late scratch for tonight's game.
Yes.
So Jimmy will be back.
He has an upper body injury.
It could be his head. We don't know. could be his shoulder. We're not sure. But
yeah, we might have to do a insert episode tomorrow or something.
We use AI and put Jimmy in one of these episodes.
Lord, yeah, input. Yeah, there you go. Oh, maybe AI is good. If we can insert Jimmy into the podcast without him actually being on it, then by all means,
absolutely. So Jimmy's not on this week, but it was a busy night tonight. But we'll probably do something later this week.
Long show. Do you realize that?
What's that?
This is our longest show.
Of course, the two of us. Jimmy keeps us
42 minutes.
Stops us from talking. But thank you, everybody, again. Like, share us.
Thank you.
LSU. We're going to expect a plane here next week or this coming week, and we'll be down and take over. Thanks, everybody, and have a great week.
Have a great week. See ya.